Hello and welcome to another Magic the Gathering Arena video, where this time we'll be looking at, once again, another Brawl deck. However, this one is marginally different in that, whilst Kaalia Zenith Seeker is the commander, I guess it's in the same way as with Nicol Bolas, albeit less jank, where it's built a deck, the deck's not built around the commander, it just requires the colours, because standard limitations means there's very few 3-colour commanders, and Kaalia is the only one available in Mardu, and the deck I wanted to make was Mardu Control. I'm not 100% sure why. I was sat down making decks. I started off grabbing Kaalia and was like, oh, I'll make a Kaalia deck, and then partway through I decided, you know what, I think I'd rather make more of a control deck, and then take advantage of Kaalia, not so much for essentially killing my opponent by grabbing big scary things, although we do have a couple in there, but more so to just grab a potential finisher later on and then have the rest of the deck be built around the early game control. So there are some downsides to playing Mardu as a control shell. For starters, without blue we don't have counterspells, we don't have a lot of powerful draw spells, so we have to make do with what we can. Though there is one major plus with Kaalia as the commander, is with flying and vigilance they can normally quite safely attack to trigger Tome of Legends, making Tome of Legends a very good draw card here to make up for that. Bag of Holding also can work quite well, and then Chandra is sort of a toolbox in some regards with the -2, just to be able to get back and reuse some of our cheaper removal. And also, technically, our finishers with Finale of Glory and Finale of Eternity. Since the CMC is less than 3, and since you still have to pay for it, you can still pay for the X. So we have potential options available to us in that. However, despite the fact that Kaalia is our commander, as I said, very few demons, dragons, and angels. We have a couple in. We have 2, 3, and 2. Since there are definitely once-off use. Embodiments of Agonies, since we're planning on playing the long game, is pretty decent. Doom Whisperer with the Surveil allows us to set up the top of our decks, so once again, pretty useful. Opportunistic Dragon is able to get rid of an artifact from our opponent, or a human, potentially, so there's value to having it. Rakdos can be a potential board wipe. Drakazeth can deal a lot of damage to a lot of creatures to control the board out a bit more. And I think then it's Angel of Grace to just recover my life total a bit. A flash for a bit of a surprise, and also being able to be played whilst keeping mana up for removal. And then I think Seraph of the Scales, because once again, Death Touch, and also the Spirits for chump blockers afterwards. Plus the Vigilance to be able to start swinging and keep a blocker up. So that's essentially the idea of the deck. It's pretty straightforward beyond that. We have a lot of creature removal. We have a few token generators to give us, and yeah, that's another way of drawing cards. Token generators to generate win cons after multiple board wipes. So yeah, there's been some good games with it. There's one game which I really wanted to show, and would have either been the entire game video or would have been a separate one that I'd have let you watch. That was essentially another control deck. It was a Kaikar control, and it was a really fun game. Went on for 45 minutes or thereabouts, and was just a constant back and forth, and it was an amazing game. Unfortunately, the recording didn't go quite as smoothly as one would hope, so it doesn't exactly show the entire match as it should, so unfortunately I'm not able to have footage from it. But let's just say that the game ended with the opponent on 1 life, and I lost to drawing out my deck from being forced to draw with Explosion. So it was a very fun game, very close game, and I really wish I could have shown it. Also, as a really quick side note, I am not intending to participate in the Brawler Days event. I'm going to keep going with the free Wednesdays, since 10,000 gold, even though, yes, I could afford it, and 2,000 gems is pretty extortionate for essentially being able to play a game mode, since the wildcard isn't really worth it when 6 booster packs gets you the rare wildcard anyway. So, rewards aren't really compelling, and paying to play a mode that should really be free in the first place isn't compelling either, so I'm just skipping it. However, without further ado, let's get into some games. Alright, this is going to be a bit of an awkward one. I can already tell. Just because Saren's able to bring back creatures, so my removal is going to have to be working overtime, and I've got fewer ways of getting rid of it. This hand's not got any white, not got any real early removal, that's probably a mulligan. Okay, that'll have to do. The Temple of France at least gives me Scry. That's useful. Tome of Legends gives me card draw. Sure. And that gives me some board presence. If I get another land, which I hopefully should be able to. Let's just discard this. Now giving Angel of Grace a bit of a read. Still no black. Bit awkward. I guess I should have drawn first and seen if I got any. Don't think there's any point playing Chandra just now. It's going to eat damage. Can put a counter on it, but it's going to be losing counters faster than it's gaining them. Attacking in, the Ministrant just blocks. And then they have things in graveyard they can recur the Burglar at. Just as an example. So I think I take another hit here. Okay, they've not got the mana for Sorin. I guess I could. There's black. Do I Merriment? I think I Merriment. Ah, rude. I'll go for this time. Since I can then draw with Tome. Dragon's decent, I can get rid of the Ministrant without actually killing it. I'm presuming they're going to target Burglar Rat. In which case... Oh no, Scry, okay. Okay, let's draw. Finale, pretty decent. Attack with this. Counter. Traveling Prince can actually save Opportunistic Dragon. Save Ministrant from Opportunistic Dragon. So I think I actually... Do I take that? Yeah. Will kill Ayara. End of turn. What do I draw? I guess, yeah, I can get rid of Ayara. I mean, I can bring it back with Sarin. Doom Whisper is good. Get some punching in. I still have 1 mana for Carnival Carnage, or to draw a card with Tome. Kaya's Wrath's pretty decent. Let's get a Surveil in. I'm happy with both of those. Destroy this. I think I'm now going to drop Chandra.
Not to brag, but I'm totally the best Final Fantasy student. Oh, they're so cute!
So they can punch. Oh, that gets rid of Chandra straight up, so that's decent. Let's Rakdos, because why not? Nice. I expect Sarum to come down eventually. Kill that so they can't actually sacrifice anything for it. Finale of Eternity is also a very nice one. So I think I swing here. And let's draw first. I guess I just prisoner on that. I mean, I guess they can play crafted back Sorin, so dropping Kaalia seems reasonable. Get a whiff. Blocks. Bring back Blade Crafter, sacrifice Kaalia. D-Spark actually works really nice there. So I can despark that. I'm not too worried about Soren right now. Let's draw a card. It's another land. Do I just play out the finale and go for lethal next turn? I think I do. So 4.
Time for a drink.
There we go. Nice and concise. Alright. Some Royal Scions. I never know how to pronounce that. That seems decent-ish. I'm on... Oh, no, I'm on the draw, so... Okay, so let's start with this. Into an imp. So, that's really what I didn't want to see right there. So, yeah, I attack now because I think they're going to Scions next. Do I have any life gain? Currently, no. So I'll drop this. And that at least enables the Murderous Rider next turn, so I can just kill... This is someone who's using the emotes rather frequently. Okay, they've got a... Interesting. Personally, I feel like that's a bit of a waste. So... Do I drop Dawn of Hope and Pilfering? Imp? Or do I just go straight to Kaalia? Let's drop Kaalia. Nothing found. Bedevil's pretty decent. See what you want to do. Flash and Brazen. Growl's Outburst. Okay. That's fine with me. So now drop the Imp. Drop the Dawn of Hope. Drop the Temple of Silence. I don't think we need that right now. There's the Scions.
Let me hope you delay our quest no further. My answers lie in the cold.
So they do now get Beacon Bolts. A pretty good one to have. They start getting their fairies. I am going to use this. Let's just take out Kefnet. since that's recurring value. They do have a quench that I do know about, so I'm just gonna end the turn.
I enjoy the proper application of knowledge.
I'm not too worried about the board getting big at the moment. That I'm a bit more worried about. I mean, they've got the quench.
My hair is on fire? I know.
So, come on, get something that they want to play.
Fire can't solve.
Flame Sweep, doesn't really do much for them. But yes, I can play around that quench. Oh, that actually enters tapped, huh. So I think we should Devil first. Because Murderous Rider... Okay, Iron Crag is a bit of a problem, but I can play... Oh, I've got Kai's Wrath, it's not a problem at all, actually.
There's plans for the trials ahead.
I got rid of their quench. So either they've got a better counter spell, they keep 3 mana up, I'll be suspicious of. They've definitely got something. I'm gonna play 2 here, so I can Murderous Rider, and if they counter it, then I can play Embodiment. Okay, I'll take 4. Yeah, Divine Draws. I'll take 4. Because I take 3 with Iron Crag and they get 3 cards. This is lifelink. So Iron Crag may have to use a shot to kill it. I mean, I guess they can immediately replay it, but it does take it out of the...
What is my strategy here?
Yeah, so they kill the Murderous Rider, which is fine, because I'm going to Wrath next turn. Ideally I draw a land. Bone Crusher is decent. So I'm going to hold for now. I can use Bag of Holding. If they play their Brazen Borrower, I'll stomp it. Could do with something to be able to get rid of the Improbable Alliance.
To know is to triumph.
I guess I can... Oh no, I can't do both. So let's draw a card. That answers Improbable Alliance. Ideally I have one more land to be able to kill that fairy as well. they can have a counterspell for this too. So I think I hold on to it for now. Maybe I should have just stomped the fairy to get rid of it, but I can realm cloak to giant, and Bone Crusher survives. There's the Burrower. I'm getting low on health, so I may have to realm cloak. In fact, yeah, I can realm cloak, which clears their board. I can punch
strategy here?
the Scions, so they're not about to ult. They could have me though. In fact, yeah, risk factor, I have to give them the card draw. That's a lot of cards. So, yeah, resolve that. This isn't looking too promising. They've probably been able to draw a hand spell with that. This could very easily be game. And yeah, I knew Improbable Lance was going to be a problem. Just hoping that that's a little too late. Counterspell, Ionize. Bone Crusher. Okay. Alt. That doesn't draw them enough cards, so I guess it's fine. But I am pretty screwed.
I love a good fight.
Especially since they're in red, they can play practically anything and kill me. As expected. Well, Royal Signs again. Let's see if this goes as well as last time. Well, for starters, that's a mulligan right out of the bat. Okay, well, I got Temple of Silence into an Arcane Signet, so I think I can keep this. I do need to draw the red, but everything else is reasonable. It does get me Kaalia. There's a mountain. Just because I don't want to be over-reliant on the Signet. Pretty nice. Gonna Kaalia first. Got nothing there. Ah, Tome of Legends being lost is a bit painful. But yeah, that lets me drop the Shrine. So activates an ability of an artifact, creature, or land that isn't a mana ability, 1 damage. So I guess I've got the Vans that do it. Ember Hauler. Too scary. Goblin Banneret. A bit more. But then I can Bedeck Bezazzle. Drop this, and then I can still Bedeck Bezazzle. But then I don't have favorable trades in, I've got nothing to work with. So I guess we attack first. Drop the imp. Chandra. And that's a Chandra gone. Nice. So, do I get rid of anything? Oh, I can despark Chandra. That Chandra. So I don't have to take any damage. Yes, I take 1 damage from the Immolation Shaman. I am going to do this since I've now got the Embodiment of Agnes. So it's 5 mana to get +3/+3 in Menace. So there's a lot of things I want to kill, and I've got very few ways of doing it at the moment. Suns come down, so they can still ban them out.
And I will inspire your heart. My answers lie in the cold truth.
Do I kill Immolation Shaman now? No. I think I still hold on to it for now. Prison Realm's good. I'm not sure whether I take away the Royal Scions or not, since they can immediately replay them. So I think the line of play is... I guess we'd hold. I don't want to hold. I feel like it's... So they can sacrifice that in response, they can pump that. I mean, I guess it takes out their turn. I get the scry, so I set up my next play a little bit better. Murderous Ride is a good one. Yep, got the Scions again.
It seems we've encountered another puzzle on our quest.
Okay.
Bravery galvanizes any plan.
Okay. I think I let them attack, since they have to attack with 2 things to get the trigger. And I can then deck that. Trade with that. I guess it's got first strike, so not quite a trade, but I then do get another shot at playing it. Okay, they've decided to pack it up, so I'm fine with that. Feels like it was a bit premature, but they didn't have too good of an opening hand. Trot is going to be interesting, since I'm pretty creature light. Giant Killer doesn't actually kill it. Carnival Carnage doesn't do much. Bag of Holding, though, I think that on top of the fact that I can play Kaalia on curve, and then one more land, Smothering Tithe. There's my other land, although it does enter tapped at the moment. I think I'm going to pass on that and just drop Arden Vale next turn, since I can shock that in if necessary. Ooh, that could either be Smothering Tithe or Bag of Holding. Giant Killer, okay. So they've got something in mind that, oh, I'm fine with that. So, got this, got Bag of Holding. So, Tracker Seth. You know what? I'm not going to play Kaalia. There's no need. I can keep up my Bag of Holding. And then I can Smothering Tithe next turn. I guess I should have paid for Bedevil. Actually, no, I couldn't play Bedevil anyway. So. Kaya's Wrath, I don't feel like I need right now. Ooh, Merriment. That's going to be a nice following turn. I'm going to let Atrata live for now since I've knocked the creature down. Start generating some treasure. This may be a mistake since they can now get counterspells up. But, hopefully it's not a mistake. I'm really curious why they took the Giant Killer. Maybe because it can tap down Atrata repeatedly? Oh, they want a Thought Eraser again. So did they take the Bedevil? Did they take the Merriment? Although this doesn't do it. This Bag of Holding protects it. That's going to be fun. And I don't think they can get rid of Bag of Holding easily, since Smothering Tithe is my highest CMC card, so that goes back to hand if they were to dispersal it. Thank you, Bag of Holding. And then now reading Bag of Holding. So I take 3. Going to Kaalia. Now, if they pay for Smothering Tithe, I can't do anything about it. I do, however, get both of those angels. However, if they don't pay, I can then Bedevil. So, the smart thing is to pay. They didn't pay. So, they can still have a counterspell. And I guess that will get rid of Kaalia. This is fine because once again I don't particularly care too much about Kaalia. And now you're tapped out. Actually, do I kill Narset instead of Atrata? They've got the Minus Flame Atrata again. I can't draw with Bag of Holding. Oh, I can do during their turn still, so I guess I do just kill a charge now.
There are so many mysteries. I have just the trick for this.
They can then force the discard of 2 of the cards in hand, so they're left with 1. They want to steal something from my hand. That's actually kind of somewhat scary, given what's in my hand. So... how much do you want that covered third? Not that much. Which is kind of scary. Because it means they got something better. Okay, I can now Bag of Holding. Trout comes down again.
Hone your prowess.
Makes its cruelty. I should probably put that in here actually. It's good removal. Okay, so 6 mana. Need more red for Draxeth, so guess I drop the planes. I regret dropping the planes. So don't think I drop anything here, and then I flash in Angel of Grace during their end step. I can then punch Narset to death and draw with Bag of... but I can replay Ugin because of the treasure. So... they do have their cruelty though, so they can just get my Grace exiled. Now they can't though. Although now I have 2 Atrata to remove. So I can remove one of them. Get rid of that, just so I can draw again during my turn if necessary. Which I think I'm going to do. Vampire, vampire. Can also hit artifacts. There's nothing for it at the moment, I've not got much red. So we'll stick that under it. And turn. Still not paying. I guess they can pump the knight indefinitely. And that might be what they're thinking of doing. Mortify you. And now the knight doesn't grow. They do get rid of my angel, but that's fine. Atrata goes back to the command zone. They don't have the mana for it. This is my opening for Ugin.
I am ancient and wise. Heed to my advice. Another begone, interloper.
Okay. This is looking promising. It's looking less promising. Okay. I can, however, now play Drakaseth. And with the Bone Crusher, I do have one turn of being able to kill a Trata with Drakaseth. Can get some pretty hefty punches. Okay, did they drop a Trata to then try and get rid of Drakaseth next turn? Did they attack with Murderous Rider first to see if I block it so they can Obnixilis Cruelty? They seem to do that first. No blocks. I can see the Cruelty at least, so I know what's coming if I block. It's 4 damage, so as far as they're concerned, playing a Trata's safe. Yep. And that being said, the okay, so 4, 3. Actually, so 4, 3, 3. Stompy stomp. That gives me 2 turns. And sure, let's drop Bone Crusher, because why not? It threatens lethal. Still giving me mana. I mean, I guess they can Bone Crusher. They can -5/-5 Bone Crusher. But then that deals 2 damage to them still, so I then can still kill them. In fact, I've got lethal with Drakaseth alone. They have to remove Drakaseth this turn. Actually, I guess they can Obnixilis defensively. I guess this is a game. Yep, that's game. Let's see what we opened. So, Sarah Lenora. Ooh, second Ember Cleave. That's going to be fun. Going to enjoy using that in a deck, probably. Alright, so as far as performance went, it went as well as I think it Control can, for the most part, without, I mean, it's obviously awkward without blue for card draw. I do think that I should probably put a little bit more recursion in, since getting just something to get back some of these more valuable creatures from graveyard. Definitely something to get back enchantments, since yeah, those make up a good portion of my game plan. But overall, I didn't ever find myself starving for cards, so it worked out all right. Yeah, and I can definitely see areas where it can be improved on, things that can be changed up, and obviously with the introduction of things like Theros, where we'll be getting a lot more enchantments. Maybe making a much more enchantment-focused deck could work out, as well as just giving more control options, since it's always the awkward thing when running something like this. I mean, I guess there are other card draw options if I were to go into red with the discard draw, which then I can use the black to bring cards back if I'm discarding the big creatures for near the end. So I guess there's definitely options. Obviously, Kaalia's best built when you put in a lot more angels, demons, and dragons, but hey, I felt like playing Mardu control for some reason, so hey, Mardu control it is. And just because you're the only commander available in those colours, you're going to have to do. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. And so, take care, and I'll see you all next time.